Oh my god! It's a Twin Blades variant. There's a Maelstrom on the backside. Phantom's picking up more kills, finds Andrew as well. It's a triple. Oh, look at Dahaka. Finds the Abathur top lane 6. Great Ring of Frost connecting on the 4 members. We might have a comeback for the ages. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Will they be able to escape? ETC does fall. What a counter attack by Regen Red, and he's gonna barely get away with this friggin' teleport ability. Holy shit! That was really spicy. All right, welcome to the show, the big show of the evening. We have a Division A West matchup for you today. StepDads versus Reborn Knights Red, and I'm your host, Murda, back at you with match number 19 of the season over here on twitch.tv/MurdaRG. Thank you so much for stopping in. I see a bunch of you already here. I got 13 on my counter up there. Wait, that way? That all the way up there in the top corner. You see it. It says 13. There's 13 of you guys here. Thank you for stopping in. I got the teams in lobby. I believe they're ready to go, but I'm just going to ask them politely with an R and a question mark to find out if they're good to go. Very excited for this matchup. My first time getting to cast each of these teams this season. Both returning to Nexus Gaming Series for Season 5. Veteran squads here. And we have the StepDads and Reborn Knights facing off. First map of the night, it's going to be Cursed Hollow. So let me tell you what happened during the coin toss. We had Reborn Knights winning the toss, opting to go for the second map selection. So StepDads had the first ban. They banned out Sky Temple. Reborn Knights Red banned out Battlefield of Eternity, then picked for map number 2, Infernal Shrines. And then here on map number 1, as chosen by StepDads, is Cursed Hollow, as we quickly see Reborn Knights Red banning out Hanzo. So good on this map. Can steal away those bosses with ease. Your Rel's going to be the ban for StepDads. Stealing away those bosses so quickly with Scatter Arrows. A smart decision here from Reborn Knights Red, making sure that is not an option for them. Now, the newest hero available in Nexus Gaming Series and in Heroes of the Storm in general, Whitemane, will be the second ban for Reborn Knights Red, followed up by a Deckard Cain ban by StepDads, and we are through the first bans with a Diablo being selected first off the top here by RKR. Alright, so with Diablo already chosen, it opens up a few different routes they can go. Of course, that Phoenix gets a little scary with the Lightning Breath Purification Salvo that we saw earlier in our first matchup of the doubleheader. But 2 picks available right now for StepDads, and they have potential to take away that Phoenix as an option for them. We'll see what they want to do. They're going to go with Dahaka and ETC, so getting some dinosaur and some beef action going here. Dahaka, one of his better maps, so big, able to get between all of the lanes, quickly show up with his Brush Stalker on top of these tributes that are going to be spawning. Fantastic selection. ETC, of course, can opt into a stage dive to give himself a global, so a potential double global play here from StepDads. Now picks 2 and 3, and it's going to be Azmodan and Alexstrasza for Reborn Knights Red. Alright, now we enter the final 2 bans of map number 1. Already banned out Urel and Deckard Cain here by StepDads. They're looking to get rid of probably some sort of matchup that Dahaka doesn't want. They've already banned out the Urel. They could potentially look into banning out like a Blaze or something. Instead, it's going to be a Rainer. The Rainer's going to be banned out. Final ban now, and it's for Reborn Knights. What do they want to do? They are Reborn Knights Red. They are in the red this evening. It just so happened to work out that way with them being the away squad for this matchup. But with 8 seconds, they can look to ban out a support. Already gotten rid of Whitemane and Deckard Cain. They're just going to say, let's not worry about Maiev. So Maiev has been taken away, and now we are back on the clock with some picks for the StepDads. Still needing their support, still needing all of their damage here. With support already taken, I don't think they're too worried about having to dig any deeper into this support pool, so they could just go ahead and snatch up both of their assassins here, unless they're worried about being countered. So see what they go. It's going to be Greymane and Rhaegar, 2 puppies, hopping in here with the 3-4 picks from StepDads. All right, so now 15 seconds remain. Reborn Knights Red on the clock with their final 2 selections, Tychus and Falstead. So they want to try to match some of the global. They're going to do it with the Bird Rider and Tychus, a very great hero in defense up against some of these curse pushes that these teams might be making. We'll see if he wants to go into that Odin. He could, of course, go with his Draken Laser, see if that's the option around those tributes. But Falstead should give them definitely an option to play up against this Dahaka, and as mentioned, that ETC potentially going into a stage dive. But now, look at what we see with the final selection. Abathur showing up on Cursed Hollow, and I gotta believe that StepDads were thinking this the entire way through the draft. This was their map selection, so you gotta believe that they had some thoughts in mind. They enter tonight's matchup 6-2 in the standings. Reborn Knights Red sitting at 3-3. So heavily favoring StepDads in just the win-loss column right now. They're looking good here in Season 5, trying to rebound after a season that didn't end the way they necessarily wanted it to end for them in Season 4. Season 5, they are looking deadly, and they're going to put Bacon over on that Abathur. Should be solid for them. On a map like Cursed Hollow, they will be able to get plenty of value from that, but we just got to see how it ends up playing out. They're going to have to use the clone to an advantage here on map number 1 as we head in and look at the team on the left in blue. It is the StepDads. Bidhams on the Greymane. Adam SK going to be playing your ETC. As mentioned, Abathur will be played by Bacon. The Dream is on Rhaegar, and rounding it out is Valise on the Dahaka. Over on the right-hand side, in red, it's Reborn Knights Red. Danebo on the Diablo Ninja, playing the Falstead Rise on Azmodan. Stuck on the Alexstrasza, and down in the bottom lane is Stamma on the Tychus. Team's looking to square off here around this mid-wave as we look at these level 1 talents. It's a regen build started up here by Abathur. Tissue regen from Dahaka. They're going to be pretty tanky in this game with a double support and the 2 tanks that can provide so much, especially with the prog rock that you also see from ETC. It means that there's going to be plenty of healing from the side of StepDads. And will all this healing play to their benefit? We'll find out. But for now, it's going to be Greymane and Falstead up top. And it's going to be Dahaka and Tychus down in the bottom lane in these matchups, with Abathur sitting behind this mid wall where we see a 3-on-3 being established here. Now rotation coming from Azmodan up to the top. They want to switch this matchup around and put Falstead in a better spot, as he's already lost half of his health. Must have gotten jumped on by Greymane. He's going to rotate out of the lane as Ninja. Taking a look around the map, we see Rhaegar starting to work on the first siege camp of the game. Going to get that out early as a tribute's in the top lane. They're not going to get value during that first trip, so might as well get it out early. And on the side of Reborn Knights Red, they are yet to look at it. Tychus falling low in this bottom lane. He has to back up, use a well tap early. Only a minute and 22 into this game. Up top, Azmodan doing a much better job than Falstead was up against this Greymane, as it looks like Rhaegar is finally going to send the first siege camp of the game out into this top lane. Keep an eye on the other siege camp on the opposite side of the map. We'll see what Reborn Knights Red want to do with that one. They could just time it out for the first trib, wait up a bit, and right now you do see them working on the first bruiser camp of the game here on their side. Alexstrasza and Falstead are here doing that, while the rest of the lanes are being soaked by Asmo, Diablo, and Tychus. But still, no one has headed over to that siege camp, and I don't know if they're going to have enough time at this point. Falstead's low mana. He's going to have to go back. Final abundance here from Alexstrasza, going to make sure he's not going to fall, as the bruiser camp is picked up. Top side, ETC waiting in this flank. Siege camp up on the wall. Greymane's here as well, throwing out a cocktail, splashing on the back onto Azmodan, as these siege giants are now locked in on some of these turrets in the wall. So Asmo's going to have to start clearing out. He's pretty low on his Annihilation right now, and he took Gluttony at level 1. So later on in the game, it's going to help him out, but for now, he's very low stacks, only at 32. He's in a solo lane, so not getting assistance in clearing his Rise right now, as Greymane is starting to pressure him once again back behind as well. Bidham's doing a fantastic job thus far, as the first tribute is spawning in 13 seconds. We see Falstead properly timing out that camp. We'll see if the Haka wants to stay down in this bottom lane. That's Feliz getting some turret damage there, but the first tribute is spawning, and it does appear that StepDads are willing to give this one up. Greymane might find the first interrupt, but Cocktail actually misses, so it will be grabbed right away by Reborn Knights Red as their bruiser camp is being cleared up. A blue bruiser camp is showing up right behind it. So now StepDads ready to make their own power play, as they have a very slight level advantage in this huge raid there from one Mega Man fan. I threw him to him. He threw him right back when he finished. Really appreciate that, my friend. Thank you for sending him back over. We have a matchup here between StepDads in blue and Reborn Knights Red in the red trunks. And early tribute grabbed by Reborn Knights Red, but that was only the first of the game, as we see level 7s are about to be picked up. Falstead getting dragged into turrets and falls. Feliz, the captain of StepDads, finding first blood all by Dahaka's lonesome self there in the bottom lane. That drag was on point, but it's a Falstead. He will have flight available to get up to this tribute, and it's an Abathur comp on the side of StepDads. Forced them to relinquish over the first tribute without any sort of contest. So we'll see if they want to make an attempt at this one, as Abathur shows up in the bottom lane. Dahaka has that brush stock available. Falstead didn't end up needing to use the flight, as he shows up and his team is sitting at level 7. Those talents on your screen right now, as these teams are squaring off over the second tribute of the game. Tychus getting jumped up by Greymane and absolutely deleted. Now stuck in a weird spot. Diablo, he's got to try to get out. Dahaka showed up at the brush stock, but Feliz falling low. Pops that essence. Here's Dragon Queen from stock, trying to rip through with these auto attacks, but Greymane saying, I'm not going to let you get that for free, stock. I'm jumping in with this Dark Flight, and there's the Dragon Queen having to back up. Only 315 health. Asmodan not able to finish off any heroes yet. Here's a drag on Diablo, and he's going to be destroyed. A double kill with an Abathur comp here for StepDads, as Falstead and Asmo secure a kill there on Greymane. Falstead loses his life as well. Blood on both sides. ETC trying to finish off this Alexstrasza. She escapes, but now starting to walk back, going to try to throw an abundance out here for the Asmodan, who's still standing in it, but here comes the damage. The lightning shield is going to be enough. Yes, it is. All right, they get another kill. That was 4 kills in that fight. They get the tribute. Abathur the whole time was soaking the bottom lane. This wall's getting some damage done to it. And it's a level and a half lead right now for StepDads, as Falstead having to fly down bottom. Going to try to do what he can to push this wave up from the Abathur, who was here the whole time. Greymane working on a camp on the top left side. He gets that out. There's one available on the right-hand side, still not looked at by Reborn Knights Red. But we're looking pretty money in this match. If you are a StepDads fan, Reborn Knights going to have to find a way to get back into this. But it's an Abathur comp that's going to come online at level 10. And I'm surely hoping that they're able to defend up against this next tribute here, because it's not looking good for them in this current state of the game. Level 10 to level 8. Abathur's up in this top lane pushing with Siege Giants. Tychus going to stay here. It does appear he will not be making the rotation, as Asmodan also going to show up in defense. And it's going to be what appears to be a free tribute for the StepDads, as Abathur trying to do what he can to push his top lane with his Bacon's Abathur here in the top lane. So they're doing well, and now they're looking at a boss. They have 2 tributes. There is no contest anywhere nearby to help defend up against this boss, so it's going to be picked up. They used the clone here. Not exactly sure why, but they're going to use the clone just to make sure they secure the boss damage. Now ETC looking at Falstead. Arcade Ninja still half a level away from having Gust, as ETC does not decide to push any further. Bacon's still here in that clone, but it expires just in time for Falstead to not get hit by that drag. But it's a boss bottom lane, going to have to be defended by Falstead and Alexstrasza. They're still here. Moving up top for a double boss play is Bidham's The Dream and Adams SK. And they're likely to get this boss. Trips down the bottom side. They might not be able to get that, but getting both the bosses off the map is going to be a huge power play for them. Remember, they have the Abathur comp, so they can try to delay this for a little bit, but they're not going to be able to defend it the whole way. Tychus is here, has an Odin, but doesn't have a team here to help, so boss is secured. The second boss of the game for StepDads, as the tribute is on the map. Feliz the only one here in defense. The rest of the team trying to make the rotation down. Abathur and a drag are going to delay the fall step for now. Feliz is still here. Being delayed by Diablo is the rest of the squad, but Feliz using that essence and the adaptation, able to survive for the time being. Now, Azmodan falling low, and look at this. The defense has shown up. The cavalry is here. Clone up in just 4 seconds. Abathur waiting to get on possibly this Greymane, and here comes ETC. Has a mosh pit, might be able to look for a slide. Clone's ready to go. The Azmodan trying to chunk down some health bars, but wasn't able to do so yet. Here comes that clone. Greymane jumping in on top of Asma. Lifebinders here on Rise. He'll survive, but Diablo might not have the same fate. Danebo falls, and that was full souls are now reset on that Diablo. The clone expires. The tribute is gonna be gathered. Feliz gets it, and there's still a boss top lane as a mosh pit comes out, finishing off Alexstrasza. And StepDads are looking really good right now as Greymane jumping in on this Tychus. Might be able to get the damage. There's a lightning shield on the Rhaegar trying to finish it off. Just 400 health left. Hopping in Rainstorm, finishing the kills. Bidhams next to fall is that zero soul Diablo. He's down. And here come the StepDads looking on the first keep wall of the game. This boss is working on the top side as well. Falstead, the only thing in here in defense, but taking so much damage from these minions. Bottom side, it's StepDads pushing on this keep, and they're gonna get it. Just Azmodan here in defense. Tychus about to spawn. Diablo 2 seconds away. He'll be up, but they're gonna get this keep off this early curse that they were able to get after both the bosses were grabbed as well. Top keep is low. It falls. That's a double keep with the first curse of the game. Mid fort's gonna go down, and I don't know what the answer is. They're gonna have a 2 talent tier advantage. 16 to 11, 5 levels up right now are the StepDads over Reborn Knights Red. Alright, so it's a huge lead. We can't count Reborn Knights Red out of this one yet. If they can find a kill up against this very sustained style composition, which what truthfully equates to 4 supports. I mean, you have the Prog Rock finished on ETC, you have an adaptation to Haka, and then you got a regeneration style Abathur, and you pair it with an ancestral Rhaegar. It's just so hard to get through any of these health bars on the side of StepDads, and you can see early game that it's given them this huge lead, which is now being lowered to a 3-level lead. It was at 1.5 level difference. But it is a talent tier as Falstead is stuck out. Gonna be killed there. 10 kills now secured for StepDads. Abathur with 3, Rhaegar with 3. And they're looking to siege onto this final keep wall that's on the map. The Bruiser camp was here, but it is going to be cleared out. Azmodan throwing out some big globes, connecting in on the bunch. 23 Raiders now joining from my main man, Mongoose. Thank you so much for stopping in. This is game number 1 of StepDads and Reborn Knights Red, with StepDads having an enormous lead in this. They got a double boss play. Bottom boss should be spawning soon, just 30 seconds on that. Top side being pushed by Abathur. There's a siege camp and 2 catapults there. Falstead's going to be in response, as StepDads can look to steal away this Bruiser camp. They have room, and they're going to go for it. Bottom side, Dahaka waiting in a bush, but doesn't see much of anything available. Feliz will be able to clear this wave with ease. Has that brush stock available, can show up to this fight if it happens, but still down 4 levels right now is Reborn Knights Red, as this Bruiser camp is looking to siege down the rest of this final keep wall that's available. Does get the wall down. One of the turrets will survive, but boss is available. StepDads might be willing to give up this tribute in favor of getting a boss that's going to be pushing down an empty lane. No keep there in that bottom side, and that's exactly the play they're going to make. Boss Slam going to connect on ETC, but he's not worried. So much supporting available from this side. And, I mean, absolutely, StepDads 6-2 on the season and looking really good for potentially picking up their 7th map win here, with a boss now pushing down this bottom lane. It's being prepped by an Avatar hat. And I mean, they get the tribute, Reborn Knights Red, but they got to make a gutsy defense up against this boss. The other boss spawned right now. It just now spawned, and looks like the members of StepDads are ready with this Talontier advantage to make their push onto the core. Avatar is going to be clearing up that mid and pushing the top a little further. There's also catapults there, so a flanked offense here from the StepDads as they're looking to push on the core with the boss. Here's the Odin, played by Stamop. He's going to try to be the one in defense up against his boss. There's a Gus early, going to push members out of the way of this engagement, but Moshpit hitting 2, including the Dragon Queen, and Alexstrasza is down quick. Diablo's down next, a double kill for the members of StepDads as they're looking on a shield, a no-shielded core. Boss still alive, 20%, 10. GG early, just 13.5 minutes is all it took for the StepDads to take a win here on Cursed Hollow. All right, so let's take a look at our match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming Series. Another huge shout out to one Mega Man fan and Mongoose for bringing the viewers over. We're now sitting at 27 as you just watched the StepDads completely wreck the members of Reborn Knights Red, taking it in 13 minutes and 29 seconds. Greymane picking up the most siege and hero damage in the game, but Abathur, played by Bacon, quite possibly our MVP of that one, was looking good, and their game plan was executed to perfection here on Cursed Hollow. I'm going to throw up the talent screen if you want to check out this VOD later on. We'll be over on my YouTube. If you're watching from the future on YouTube, make sure you're hitting that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment for me. I'm trying to get those subscribers up to 100, so even if you're here in Twitch chat right now, go ahead and follow the link that Nightbot threw out in chat. Head over to my YouTube channel where you can check out this VOD later on. Hit the subscribe button, help your boy Murda out, trying to reach that goal of 100. But that's all we have here for game number 1. We will be back in just 5 minutes with Infernal Shrines, the map selection of Reborn Knights Red, looking to rebound here up against the StepDads. Ladies and gents, welcome back. 37 of you here now to watch this game number 2 between StepDads and Reborn Knights Red. And StepDads, using an Abathur comp on Cursed Hollow, found a lot of blood and picked up a dominant victory over there. They're looking to extend their winning ways up next here on Infernal Shrines. I have our teams ready to go in the lobby. I'm just going to send out the final ready check for them and see if they're good to go. But looking good so far. StepDads, Reborn Knights Red, looking to rebound, and I think they have it in them to make it happen here, but we'll see what happens as we head into draft number 2. It's going to be
Infernal Shrines.
Infernal Shrines. All right, so this is the map selection of Reborn Knights Red. So first pick is available this time for StepDads. And I don't know if they're necessarily going to be able to pull off an Abathur comp again, but it is a map where you could possibly see it. Infernal Shrines, it's not out of the question. So does an Abathur ban have to be used here by Reborn Knights Red? That's going to be a storyline of this draft here. Game 1, we didn't see Genji looked at by either squad. Wasn't a consideration during the ban phase or the hero pick phase. Does he find a spot here on Infernal Shrines? But it was just a dominant performance with a lot of healing that was on the side of StepDads, that they were able to keep themselves alive through all of the onslaught from the Azmodan that Reborn Knights had, which we now see banned here right off the top by StepDads. So now on the clock, Reborn Knights Red trying to think about what they can do to rebound. They had some time during the break to think about it, and heading on to their map choice, perhaps they have a strategy ready to go. But they got to figure it out, and this ban phase is really going to set the tone for them as they're banning out the Rainer, which was banned by StepDads in game number 1. He'll be taken off the table here. So how does this play into their strategy? They're not going to have the Rainer. They could be just thinking about going some heavy burst. I mean, is it they're afraid of, like, I don't know. I think Rainer's in a good spot, but, like, I don't necessarily see why teams want to ban him out so early in drafts. I mean, he's still just Rainer. He does do a lot of damage, but I mean, there's heroes that, like, potentially leaving up this white main, which we saw banned in game number 1 by Reborn Knights Red, but, like, now you have to use a ban on white main. It's still going to leave up a Genji. It's still going to leave up the option if they want to go into that Abathur again. Urel's still going to be on the board too because she's not banned out. Instead, they're just going to go ahead and ban out Rhaegar, which I think StepDads now have the pick of the litter here at their first choice. Do they want to go into that Urel early, who's still sitting available, and she's so dominant right now in the meta? I just don't see a reason not to put Veliz down in the solo lane on that Urel. Big shout out for that YouTube subscription, Andy, if you are over in Twitch chat right now. Thank you, I really do appreciate that. First pick though for for StepDads, and it's gonna be white main. So you guys are gonna get your first look, or one of your first looks, at white main here in NGS. I got to cast her twice yesterday in the matchup between Screaming Weenies and Calculated Throw. But here comes Urel, left on the board, gonna pair it with a Diablo, our Reborn Knights Red. So they go ahead and grab their tank and their bruiser. That solo lane should be pretty easy for Urel up against almost any other hero in the game. We'll see if this baits out Malthael, which I think would be a pretty good choice, especially here on Infernal Shrines for StepDads. Could be an option for them. They're going to go with Phoenix, and they're going to bring the return of Dahaka once again for Veliz in the solo lane to pair against the Urel. Not bad selections. We'll see if they can find the same value, but game number 1, there wasn't really a true solo laner. It was the Falstad and Tychus that had the duty over on Cursed Hollow against Dahaka. This time, it's going to be Urel, so it shouldn't be as easy of a game for Veliz. So I am fully expecting Urel to get the better of that matchup as we see Garrosh banned out here by Reborn Knights Red. That's their final ban of the game. And now I honestly think they're looking good in this draft. I think they've set themselves up now to take a few selections in their favor. That Genji that was mentioned, they could go into. The Maiev still on the board, which they banned out in game number 1, would pair very nicely with the 2 heroes they already have. Alex Straza just got banned out, so she's not an option. But is this a Maiev game for them? I think she fits in this draft nicely and can help lock in that Phoenix when he's trying to warp out. Whitemane struggles trying to heal up multiple targets, and the area damage that Maiev would be able to put out, obviously paired with the Lightning Breath. Instead, it's going to be a Thrall. They're going to go ahead and grab their Stukov, and Stukov might be signaling that they do want that Maiev. Time will tell on that pick, but instead, they're going to go ahead and pick up the Thrall and pick up the Stukov for now, leaving that final pick available, likely for an Assassin to pair with Thrall. Picks 4 and 5, though, here for StepDads. And they have their support. They have their offlaner. They need a tank and some other damage to pair up with this Phoenix. Abathur's still an option, too. But they're going to go with ETC and Kael'thas. They had the ETC in game number 1. Did a really great job, in my opinion. Had the Mosh Pit, locked in a few kills. They're going to get the Kael'thas, which should help inside these shrines and collecting the Skeletal Defender skulls for them. But how will it be countered here with the final pick by Reborn Knights Red? They got to find something here with this last choice, and I still believe Maiev would be a great option for them, would be pretty melee heavy. So instead, they want to go with the Gul'dan. They're going to have the Horrify available, and that's their choice. They're going to go mage for mage. Gul'dan versus the Kael'thas. Bacon going to be playing the mage in this one for StepDads. Not on his Abathur here in game number 2. Instead, going to play the Fire Mage. Let me know in chat, who do you guys think is going to win? I see a lot of people here in support of the Knights, but in chat, throw out hashtag SD if you want to root for the StepDads. And if you want to put your vote in for Reborn Knights Red, hashtag RKR in chat. Let me know. I'll try to tally up your votes as this game progresses. But Reborn Knights Red are looking to rebound. They lost map number 1. And here on Infernal Shrines, their map selection, they're going to try to make their stand with a Yrel, Thrall, Stukov, Diablo, and Gul'dan composition. Will it be enough for them to get through the victories that have been coming forth all season long from StepDads? This game will tell us that answer as we head into it on Infernal Shrines. On the left-hand side, your Game 1 winners, StepDads, Adams, SK, playing the ETC. The Dream is going to be on the brand new Whitemane. Bidham's going to play Phoenix. Bacon going to switch over to a Kael'thas this time. And once again, the captain of this team, Belize, will be playing the Dahaka. On the right-hand side, we have Reborn Knights Red playing the Stukov is stock. Gul'dan going to be played by Rise. Danebo on the Nexomania Diablo. Down the bottom lane, we see Stamop on the Thrall. And up top, it's Ninja on the Yrel. Level 1 talents on your screen. Dahaka, once again, looking at the tissue regen build. Whitemane, this is the Q build started up. That's Martyrdom at level 1 as Danebo taking a lot of damage. Gonna be able to get back to his wall with that Shadow Charge on ETC, put him in a better spot, but he was, for the time being, was surrounded by a bunch of blue heroes as ETC gets power slid upon. Face melt back into the combo from Kael'thas, and Stamop just became first blood of the game as the CC chain from ETC and Kael'thas was on point there from the StepDads. They are looking good already here in the early game on Infernal Shrines. They continue their rotations. Up top, let's take a look at this matchup. It's Yrel against the Dahaka, and Valise, a veteran in the solo lane, loving the Dahaka, is going to be looking to play against a much tougher opponent this time in Yrel, and we'll see how it works out for Dahaka here in this matchup, but so far, it is Yrel looking good. First Siege camp being taken here by Bidhams, playing the Phoenix and getting no support from his team, so going to be taking a bit of damage from this Khazar camp right now. We'll see if anyone wants to come and support. Kael'thas is going to be making a little bit of a rotation here. Diablo might be able to scout this out, but going to be a little bit too late at it, as it is going to be picked up by the StepDads. They get the first crack at a mercenary camp on the map. Kael'thas rotating here in this bottom lane as they're getting very close to level 4, sitting at 7 stacks on his Mana Addict at level 1 that he chose. Here comes an engagement. ETC power sliding, but charged right away by Danebo. Going to protect up against that. But you can see the damage that Whitemane can put out. The Dream so far doing pretty good on that Whitemane. Going to try to make sure that they can lock in some of these heroes. And, God, I forget what it's called. The Inquisition going to help get that final bit of damage. Has such good range. And also provides a ton of support as ETC, once again, looking at the Prog Rock, will be able to provide a bunch for himself later on. Up top, though, this is Dahaka falling low, dragging Yrel into some towers, and now it's a little bit closer on the health bars, but let's see what the Essence is at. Only 10 right now for Dahaka, so they're going to have to play this a bit slower. Not a lot of mana either is Veliz. We'll be able to clear up this wave, get a bit of Essence. Of course, went into one who collects at level 1, or excuse me, level 4, so we'll get the extra Essence now sitting at 44. Going to use a Hearth back to base as these members continue stacking their Globe Quest. ETC and Kael'thas sitting at 11 apiece. First Shrine is active here. Both teams at level 5. And an early jump start here for StepDads. They're looking good inside the Shrine, sitting at 7. Only to 1 for Reborn Knights Red as Yrel leaping in, getting on top of Whitemane. She backs up, still alive here. Kael'thas sprinting out a lot of that damage, and Diablo below 50% health, going to have to get a Q from the Stukov, who pops the Bile Kill Switch only on 2 targets. ETC now on this backside, finding Thrall and Gul'dan with that power slide. They're going to back up. Position still an advantage for StepDads as they're finding damage on top of this Yrel. She's very low, 20% health. No hard defender this early in the game. Ninja has to start jumping away and will be able to back up. Now Stukov is here, should have a Bile Kill Switch available, thrown out the Q, but not before Gul'dan is first to fall in the fight. ETC has a power slide, now locking in Yrel. She's getting comboed with the damage from Kael'thas. That's another kill, and StepDads, just like in game number 1, are looking good on these objectives. Taking a look down at chat, no one deciding to vote in my draft vote there, but I will give credit to one Mega Man fan and Determined Donut for throwing out the Reborn Knights flare. So consider it 2 votes for Reborn Knights. They need to figure out how to defend against this Punisher, which is getting destroyed, but they're going to lose their wall. Level 7 talents are available for StepDads. As you see now, combat advantage from Phoenix will mean a lot more area damage on slow targets, and they're going to get a lot of it from their ETC, who went into... Oh, did he get it yet? I guess he doesn't get it yet, but he gets a slow later on his face melt. See if he wants to go into that. Siege Camp, bottom side, the neutral one, going to be picked up here by StepDads. They get that out as well, as level 7s are available for Reborn Knights Red. They're here in this bottom lane, but another camp is going to be played by the members of StepDads. They're getting out their Siege Camp on their side of the map. There's one on the bottom side. These Khazra are still alive, hiding out in the vent. No one's looked at him yet. Stukov is here. Thrall's going to help clean that up as the push is looking like it's going to be coming in the mid lane. Up top, Dahaka still here against Yrel. Pop the Essence there, it appears, as the push is going to be given up at mid. The rotations will continue from StepDads. They're going to find the XP in the bottom lane, continuing to get these globes for Kael'thas as he's at 20. He completes that level 1 quest. And ETC also finished Prog Rock, so it's going to be a lot easier now as the scaling has been all but completed for StepDads. They're looking to flank this Yrel. They're running up this top lane, but that was Divine Steed from Ninja, bringing him back to his wall of safety. I think he had vision of the rotation coming. Adam SK looking to see if he can find anything with ETC up front, but they're not going to find it. Now they're going to make a rotation down bottom side on Stamop. He's alone, has already fallen in this bottom lane to ETC once earlier in the game. Is the power slide going to come out? No. Adam SK going to give it up and allow Thrall back to safety. A fine disengage there by Thrall, making sure he's not going to fall in this matchup, but so close to level 10 are StepDads. They're going to find it off this mid wave, and this is where the pressure can really start for them. Shrine's going to be spawning in bottom side. Camp's already been grabbed for Reborn Knights Red and cleared up, so they will have an option, are the StepDads, to grab theirs, as here comes an engagement from ETC looking for Danebo. Did not rip that mosh pit, as we got a donation there from Moist Weenus, 69 bits, throwing the BB and a heart. Appreciate it, my man Weenus. Level 10s are here though for StepDads. They did not find all they wanted in that fight. But it does appear they're going to look for a bruiser camp as more bits coming in. One more bit to top Professor Bobo for #1 of the week. Moist Venus looking good on top of the bit leaderboard. They're going to go ahead and steal away a bruiser camp here, but so close to level 10 are Reborn Knights Red. They're going to be here in defense. Diablo has it scouted. ETC doing what he can to make sure no one's going to step in on his teammates. But here it comes. Bruiser camp is going to be completed momentarily. Kael'thas throwing out the Pyroblast. Or excuse me, the Phoenix, rather, not the Pyroblast. Already falling is Phoenix, so it's a Phoenix for a Phoenix. Bacon's also going to fall very low. Thrall going to be able to finish him up potentially as the mosh pit was there, but no damage follow-up. Finally, we see Kael'thas fall. It's a 2-for-0 in favor of Reborn Knights Red. And with ETC this low, standing in that corruption from Gul'dan, Adam SK is likely to fall, and 20 health does fall. Now Whitemane in trouble. The Dream all by himself. Yarel jumping on top. Ends up being a 4-for-0 in favor of Reborn Knights Red. Shrine is active, and they take their first XP lead of the game, sitting at 4-3 in the kill advantage. They're looking good to pick up their first Punisher of the game, with Whitemane still 8 seconds away from spawning. ETC 3, no stage dive for ETC, so he's got a long walk to make it up here. Bruiser Camp was never picked up by the members of StepDads. They didn't get their own Bruiser Camp. Instead, went for that gutsy play. It didn't pay off. Ended up being a throw pit. And Reborn Knights, for the first time all night, are looking like they have a shot up against the StepDads, who have been looking good the entire season long. We go ahead and grab away that neutral siege camp bottom side. Gul'dan going to soften up this wall. With the Khazra camp that's here, they are going to get down one of the turrets. Here comes that Punisher. It will be pushing down this bottom lane. Globe available here. See if they want to pick that up for Gul'dan, who is falling low on health and mana. Gets a little bit of supporting from Stukov. Punisher jumping over the wall, hitting ETC. A big corruption as well on Adam SK. Turrets down now. It's just a fort in the way of Reborn Knights Red as they're looking to pick up the first structure of the game. Let's keep an eye on this engagement. If it jumps on top, and it does only hit the ETC, there's a Phoenix going to push back the members of Reborn Knights Red, sidestepping its Gul'dan. And here comes Lightning Breath. Not going to be able to finish off a kill. But overall, a good defense there, using a double area damage. They had this Divine Reckoning from Whitemane as well as the Phoenix to make sure no one was able to walk past the Punisher effectively. And they lose their fort, but they didn't lose any heroes. They do all survive. But they're down level 13 talents now, and Reborn Knights Red are looking really good in this matchup, and they're going to go ahead, pick up their siege camp on the right side of the map, which means that StepDads will be able to get theirs out on the opposite side, so both siege camps will be put out just about the same moment. But look at this, ETC has Mosh Pit available, might be able to find something here in this rotational lane, but does not opt to go for it. Mid lane is the matchup. Up top, it's the Haka and Yarel. They're looking about fine. Nothing going on there. So let's keep an eye on this middle lane as both these Khazra camps are here. Better wave clear should favor the side of StepDads, as you can see just how easy it is for them with the Kael'thas and the Phoenix to rip through it, but they're not going to be able to find much more. They do get their level 13s, and they're going to go ahead and join the Haka up in this top lane and see if they can find anything. It's ETC floating around on his wolf mount to see if anyone's going to stick their neck out, but Adam SK not able to find anything. Now just going to wait in this vent along with Bacon and the Dream. See if Gul'dan wants to check the vent. Rise standing in a good spot to do so. But here comes ETC power sliding. Finding Thrall. Going to walk around him. Not quite enough to get on the opposite side. The Horrify from Gul'dan was great. And look at this damage coming out. Lightning Breath going to finish off the Kael'thas early in the fight. The Phoenix was thrown out but didn't do much of anything at all. And Reborn Knights find another kill there, giving them almost a full level lead. They're going to start getting some damage onto this mid fort wall, and they're going to get the first turret down with ease. Will they be able to find the rest of it? I mean, with Diablo here, full souls. Very tanky. Gul'dan sitting at 34 of 40 on his Echoed Corruption at level 1. Rise looking to finish that, finding one more there on ETC. And Reborn Knights are looking much better here in game number 2. As they found that huge fight earlier on their Bruiser camp, and it swung entirely in their direction as they look to continue this XP lead. There's a siege camp available on the bottom side. It might be scattered here by the members of StepDads. They do see they're here. charging in with a mosh pit, but massive shove gonna interrupt it. Here comes the counter engage from Thrall. Has Sunder available, see if he wants to rip it. And it looks like he's lining it up, has it available. Stamop, does he want to throw out that Sunder? Does not, before that Purification salvo goes out. So damage coming out on top of Reborn Knights Red, and now Diablo, the one taking all the damage. Danebo very low, flipping over the ETC, and does get out of the way, but they lose their Stukov, but not before they trade out the damage on ETC. He falls. Veliz is here, has the essence to get back in this fight, and it's Yrel trying to get on this back line, but no one's here to help her. Ninja has to jump away, and it ends up, in the end of the day, just being that 1-for-1. Both teams getting a kill in the matchup, but level 16s are here for Reborn Knights Red, as well as his active shrine that is here too. They're going to go up and try to get some early skeletal defenders, as ETC still 3 seconds away from spawning, still at least half a level until the Stepdads are at level 16, so plenty of time early in this objective to get a jump start on these skeletal defenders. Phoenix up top trying to find XP. Down bottoms to Haka looking for XP. Still no level 16. But they might be able to do it. Only 13, make it 15 on the count. And Yrel in trouble, getting all sorts of combo, but has to pop that Ardent Defender. Dahaka so close to 16. Gonna brush stalk in on this push. Dahaka, or excuse me, Diablo is there. 23 on the count for Reborn Knights Red, as the Phoenix is dropped right in the middle. Divine Reckoning will be available in 5 seconds, with Diablo falling very low. Danebo gonna fall. A big pickup there for Stepdads. They're looking to push forward in this pit. Yrel's very low, gonna take, almost took that Pyroblast, but didn't. And positional advantage inside the shrine, heavily favoring the members of Stepdads. Yrel looking for anything she can. Power Slide barely missing there on Ninja. Veliz holding the flank, making sure Gul'dan can't get any free defenders in here, but they're only 3 away. And I'm sure Reborn Knights Red are saying just dive in for this. Don't let them get this. Yrel falling low, Power Slide, gonna finish her off. But the Punisher is grabbed by Reborn Knights Red, as they are able to snipe out the final few skulls that they needed to get the job done. Punisher number two in a row for them. This one's gonna be mid lane, as the wall was already destroyed earlier. They're looking to find their second fort of the game, with the Haka up top trying to get some XP. The Punisher is pushing forward, and this is an arcane Punisher, so look how quickly those lasers are sieging this down with the minion wave. Phoenix has been thrown out from Kael'thas to help clear up the wave that's pushing forward, but they're going to get past it. Punisher jumping over the wall, landing on ETC. Adams SK is alive. Gul'dan does have his Echoed Corruption stack, so watch ETC falling very low here. Does survive. Punisher will fall, but not before the wall falls on this middle keep of Stepdads, and Reborn Knights are setting up some win conditions for the Phoenix! Phoenix, you can't stand on the laser! You can't stand on the laser, my friend! Phoenix down for 40 seconds, and a huge power play advantage has just presented itself to Reborn Knights Red, as they're gonna be able to steal away a siege camp. With the one that's already in mid lane, they can start looking at some damage on this mid keep. We'll see if they want to put the pressure there. Yrel's shown up to help this wave clear, as they're just going to rotate down to the bottom, find another siege camp. I'm a little disappointed they're not going for this keep, instead just giving it up. A bit of a surprise. They have all the heroics online, and they just gave up a double Khazra camp push in this mid lane. Honestly, a bit of a misplay there for Reborn Knights Red. They had a big opportunity to get some damage on that keep with Phoenix still down. Instead, they go ahead and get another siege camp in the bottom lane, which once again is going to get free cleared by the members of Stepdads. Really presenting an opportunity to climb back in this one for Stepdads here. Reborn Knights not making the optimal play there, unfortunately for them. They're just going to look for another Bruiser camp. This one's going to be up top. Bruiser camp on the other side, 3 minutes and 30 seconds away, as it was recently cleared up by by Reborn Knights Red in that top lane. They're going to hold this Bruiser, time it out for the next shrine that will be spawning. But bottom lane, it's a push here, and they're going to be able to almost tie up an XP here of the Stepdads, getting both those turrets down. This is where the Punisher will be spawning, so they're going to prep the lane with that wall down, turrets down. Punisher will have a very easy time pushing. And this late in the game, if a Punisher can get some kills, it could be a keep, could be even game. So we'll see what that means later on for the push. Either way for this Punisher, the lanes are softened up and could be trouble for the team that does not win it. Dahak is up top. Going to try to defend against his bruiser camp, which was put out before the shrine was announced. So yet another potential free clear here for StepDads, as the macro pressure has not been optimized at all, to say the least, by Reborn Knights Red here on map number 2, Infernal Shrines. The Shaman has been dragged in tower range. It will be cleared up. Dahak has Brushstalker available, so look for a quick fight on this bottom side as level 20 is approaching for Reborn Knights Red. I'm sure the StepDads are looking for something before that happens, and it might be a rotation up top on Urel, who just used a leap, and look at this rotation coming. I don't think she senses it, and if this pickup comes, Divine Steed's out, but it's been knocked off her mount as Ninja, and this is definitely going to be a kill. Ardent Defenders here will get some health back, but still locked in as Ninja, still body blocked as Ninja, hopping over the wall. Divine Steed back to safety, and that's why you draft Urel. In a moment where you thought she was dead, she popped Ardent Defender, 120-second cooldown. But, big pickup. And now they're going to find their level 20 in this fort up top, and this minion wave up top. StepDads are going to get right back in this game. Dahaka going to finish off the minion wave. Has full essence, sitting at 60. Has that adaptation as well. Will be trying to join this fight. But already 24. You saw what happened on the last one. They found the early skeletal defenders, and then they lost it late. But this mosh pit standing in the Phoenix, you're going to find a kill on Urel. The Phoenix is doing a lot of damage to Golden on the backside, but Lisa's here trying to finish him off with that drag. Rise going to be running away. Here comes the Purification Salvo, only hitting Stukov and Diablo, but Stukov falls. Here's Lightning Breath doing a lot of damage on top of White Mane. Adam SK going to fall to a blinking forward Thrall. A huge kill there, as the counter is going to mean they can walk right back in the shrine, and Kel'Thas falls. Might be Dahaka next. With no essence, Dahaka falls, and Thrall's starting to turn this around. Just White Mane left with Golden and Thrall here. She's gonna fall. Phoenix could be next. Is this a complete mega? No. Bidham's able to warp over the wall, but not before the Punisher will be able to be grabbed here by Reborn Knights Red, and they're looking solid to take this split here on Infernal Shrines up against StepDads. Both teams on level 20. Let me make sure I can show you those talents before this final core push is attempted here by the members of Reborn Knights Red. Urel just spawning. Stukov still 4 seconds out. Jump over the wall onto Phoenix. He'll be able to walk away. Still has shielding available. Punisher now going to reset its focus onto this bottom keep, as the 3 members that are here from Reborn Knights Red should have no trouble with the Punisher to rip through the health bar of this keep, and they will get it. Camp also here as well. So now they're setting their eyes on the core, quite possibly. No, instead it's going to be a rotation up to the mid lane. Urel prepping it with the minion wave that's here, and they're going to try to make a double keep play out of this. All heroics for both teams available outside of that mosh pit. Here's a Phoenix in defense from Kel'Thas, but I don't think it's going to be enough. This could be a 2-keep objective phase for the members of Reborn Knights Red. No, it's going to survive on just a few health, as Dahaka is pressing forward, trying to see if he can find anything. Not in range for a drag on that Urel to jump forward, so it ends up just being 1 keep. The second keep very low on health, just a few corruption away from Goldan being able to pick that off. As now, Reborn Knights Red once again working on siege camps. They get the first one. See if they want to get the second one out on their side. They will. They're all going to stay in this lane, make sure they're getting the wave pushed up. But the first Khazra camp will be able to be cleared here by StepDads once again in this mid lane. They are here. They do get the first one done. And Reborn Knights Red, okay, they are going to stay here this time. They are staying. They want to get that second keep. The smart play this time coming out from them. They're going to push behind this Khazra camp. They have a full health bar. They have all their heroics available. ETC in this bush, though, he has Moshpit available. Look at this stack up. All he had to do was slide back in, but didn't take it. Was Adam SK. Had opportunity to hit a 5-man mosh there, but maybe didn't see it was an option. So instead gave it up. And now Reborn Knights Red looking to pick up a bruiser camp here, unless if ETC, no, didn't want to power slide on that one. So another camp stolen away by Reborn Knights Red, as this Khazra camp is still here. No minions yet, but they're going to be pushing along with the next wave that's here in support. They're looking to get this next keep. Blinking forward is Diablo with that Hellgate. Phoenix in trouble. Silence and falls. Phoenix is down. Khazra camp here. Keep is down. Now that's 2 down. Reborn Knights Red looking to finish this game off as they are posturing around this core. Dahaka's here in defense with the rest of his squad. Phoenix thrown out by Bacon, trying to push back Reborn Knights Red. They will be able to, at least for now, tell them, no, you're not getting the core this easily. We're here in defense. We're not going to let you finish this game yet. We're going to be able to get our Phoenix back up, and there's going to be yet another Punisher phase available. This minion wave will get this fort on the top wave. I don't know if it will get this well, and this could be huge if they can defend this well, but I don't think anyone's looking at it, and these 2 little minion boys are going to get the job done here for Reborn Knights Red. So no well available top lane for either team now, as the next shrine will be here up top, just announced. 26 seconds until that comes, but this could be a backdoor attempt from Reborn Knights Red. They're going to prep it up. There's already catapults here, 2 in this bottom lane. They're going to get this Khazra camp out as well, and the option to push in that bottom lane if they want to. Dahaka's here in defense. That's Veliz, the captain, going to try to clear up these catapults, but doesn't know if anyone from Reborn Knights Red is waiting in the shadows. So they're going to back these up to the wall. And up top, Reborn Knights Red is making their march once again to pick up another shrine. Would be their 3rd in a row, I believe. And they're getting started early. They're in the pit. Thrall's in here. Gul'dan waiting back. Doesn't want to get flanked upon by Dahaka, I'd imagine. Bottom side, going to leave the Khazra camp and a catapult here in this bottom lane. 2 catapults. Actually, Veliz is going to walk back. Team telling him, no, you got to make sure you clear those up. That will clear our core this late in the game, 24 minutes in. Finding damage on your Rels. He's very low, but pops the Ardent Defender just in time. You even get some extra healing there from that Ardent Defender at the end when the Purification Salvo connected in. Hellgate hitting the Dahaka, but a great burrow from Belize going to survive. But the corruption, the echoed corruption, doing a lot of damage on the back lane, but White Mane, turning it back around, finding a kill on your Rel. Here's Lightning Breath. Not going to be enough to secure a kill. Only 13 skulls as they're looking to send someone back. It's going to be Phoenix. Here's the damage. Looking to come on top of Rise, and that Gul'dan. Rise surviving with his channel, but he does get out. Stukov keeping him up, but Diablo will fall. Another kill, a double kill. But the core health, 17, 2 catapults mid. Reborn Knights have done it. They're going to pick up the win on Infernal Shrines. The Winions getting the job done. Bidhumps was not enough. And StepDads, even though they turned around the game there at the end with a big fight, are not able to finish the game off. The minion push was too strong. Those 2 keeps make it a 12-10 kill advantage for Reborn Knights Red. They get the win on Infernal Shrines. Was very close at the end, but at the end of the day, it's Reborn Knights taking the split over a team of StepDads that has looked very good all season. They're going to improve to 7-3 are the StepDads. Reborn Knights Red, let me triple check this just to be sure, move to 4-4 on the season. They have had a tie in every single match. So Team Tie here, you can rename Reborn Knights Red. Looked good on Infernal. I'm going to see if I can get someone in here for an interview from Reborn Knights Red. And just give me a moment, see if I can get in touch with anyone as... yeah, give me a moment. I'll put up the talents for the time being, take a peek at those, and I will be reaching out. Whew, what a game, what a game. All right, and joining me is the captain from Reborn Knights Red. What a game number 2 it was. Rise, thank you for joining me.
Oh yeah, man, that last game on my edge of the seat the whole time.
I mean, we'll briefly talk about game number 1. I don't think you want to spend too much time on it, as StepDads looked really good with that Abathur comp. But you saw the Abathur come in with the final pick of the draft, and was it just like heads down, like, all right, we done messed up this draft, or how are you guys looking at it trying to go into that first one?
So part of it was we were unsure about white main, and so we were it came down to just we didn't have enough fans. We know they're a really strong team. We've seen a few replays on that map, and that is just like that's one of the maps we need to work on. So it was kind of a we expected that to happen, but we got wrecked a lot harder than we even wanted to.
Yeah, at one point I think it was a 5-level lead, so I'm sure you can agree. Hats off to StepDads there on game number 1. They played really well, and this is this is a StepDads team that's looked really solid all season. They just improved to 7-3. Was there a bit of extra preparation that went into playing up against them, or kind of what was the thought coming into this one?
So in this one, I mean, we knew they were a strong team. I did some extra prep just watching. Luckily, they have some good VODs up and stuff, so we could at least scout them a bit better.
Sure.
But it's hard against them because they're just they're phenomenal at pretty much everything they play.
Yeah. But Rise, let's talk a bit about game number 2. It was a thriller down to the final moments there with the Winions getting the job done. But you can't give all the credit alone to the Winions, because you guys spent a lot of resources working down the bot keep. Then you rotated up. You got the second keep there. But the catapult pressure, it kept up, and in the end paid off. What was the strategy going into Infernal Shrines, your map selection here in this matchup?
So Infernal Shrines, I think we just, as a team, understand the map a bit better. So we knew where we could give people some room and where we could take. Like in the early game, you could see we were getting bodied pretty heavily, but we were okay with that because the camps don't get a lot of pressure and they didn't have enough push to really make it meaningful. So as long as we weren't dying and keeping close in levels, we were doing what we wanted.
Right.
And then, like you said, it's just a slow drain. Like whenever we could get an immortal, we pushed with it where we could, but we didn't want to give up deaths. That was the major thing, because they're such an aggressive team that we just played it safe the whole time. Took what we could and then backed out. We didn't want to overextend on anything. And then at the end, yeah, the slow play was the call. The whole thing was just stay alive as long as you can. We need to make sure they don't go back, they don't get this immortal, and we'll win. Yeah,
I mean, the last fight, I could tell there was a lot of patience, especially from you on the Golden. I saw you playing back, not getting started inside the shrine with the skeletal defenders. You wanted to make sure your positioning, you weren't going to get flanked upon by Dahaka. Of course, the ETC and a power slide could have meant the end of the game for you. And I loved seeing your patience there on that last fight. Although you guys ended up losing the fight, the patience was just enough time to get those Winions across the line and the catapult damage onto the core. But Punisher play all day seemed really good. You were up against Divine Reckoning from Whitemane, the Phoenix from Kael'thas. So a lot of anti-siege that came out for them. What was the strategy on trying to get past all that area damage they were throwing out?
So a lot of it was, I think we had a really good job from Ninja and Dane, just completely zoning where they needed to, so that way me and Thrall could definitely just move forward and get what we needed. When they pushed ahead, you could even tell we threw out a Sundering just to make sure we got the last little bit.
Yep.
We just knew okay, we need to get what we can. If we give them the room, they'll take it, and we can't get in once they're in there. So we need to make sure they don't easily get in on the point and get as many as we can. Luckily, that worked out for us. Like I said, Ninja and Dame both just playing phenomenal to keep them back on that.
Early game, though, we saw StepDads trying to steal away with their level 10s just before you hit level 10. They're trying to steal away your Bruiser camp, and that was really the turning point of the game. Run me through that one more time from your perspective as you see them on that Bruiser, and your Diablo, Danebo, playing that hero, had it fully scouted out, but what was the mentality trying to get in there to steal that back?
So that one was, we knew they were a little bit overextended there, but with the level 10s, they had the advantage. We were actually like, we knew they were going there and we weren't going to contest it until we hit level 10. So once you saw like we hit 10, we full force like went in, and that was the call. And luckily, I think we got a good job with like the corridors are really rough with lightning breath. I mean, like, I had to basically run the whole time, but on Gul'dan, I'm okay with that. Like, I'll throw out an E and a Q and just keep running from Dahaka, and I'm doing my job. But yeah, it was just, we wouldn't have taken it if we weren't going to hit 10.
Well, certainly a highlight reel play of this matchup between StepDads and Reborn Knights Red. Huge shout outs to you guys winning that map number 2. Looked really good. Definitely a nail biter down to the last moment. Rise, before I let you go, though, I want to give you an opportunity for shout outs. You know the drill. The floor is yours.
Yeah, shout out to Reborn Knights. They've been an awesome organization supporting us. Shout out to my team. I know we have a few fans out there watching right now, so shout out to those guys. And thanks, Murda, for casting. Like, hey, always appreciate it.
Pleasure is mine. Excited to extend the Regen Invitational 3 invite to you guys, and hopefully get to see you compete before Season 6 there. But for tonight, Twitch, that's all we got. Joining me once again for this interview was Rise, the captain of Reborn Knights Red. They pick up the split up against StepDads here on Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines. A very solid match from both of these teams. Big congratulations to all of them who participated tonight. You can catch me on Thursday. I'll be back. I don't have my schedule written out, but I have a doubleheader coming on Thursday for you guys. That's it for me tonight. No matches tomorrow. I got the day off. So you guys take it easy. I'll throw you over to some other NGS action if it's going on. If not, have a pleasant evening. And until next time, I'm Murda. That was Rise. We'll see you later.